Okay, hey y'all. I'm Simone. My pronouns are she, her. I'm one of the co-founders of Healing Justice Santa Barbara. First, gratitude to Michael. He really has modeled for us that we don't need advanced degrees and a whole bunch of letters behind our names to archive and hold on to what's happening in our community. And so thanks to the model that he has led, and certainly some of our now passed on ancestors like Miss Sojourner, she really started collecting, as well as Cedric Robinson, evidence of Black people being in Santa Barbara because we are so often displaced and then erased from the very things that we have created. So I was super excited to join. Hopefully you all can read more. We do have a children's book. I have it here in my hand. It publishes today. We're celebrating it at our Black is Beautiful Gala, which is later this afternoon. It's called We Were Here, We Are Here, A Living History of Black Santa Barbara. One of the reasons why I was excited to join here is because historically the East Side was a Black neighborhood, and you would not know that if you were driving through it, especially around Haley. So actually in the 20s and 30s, 2/3 of the Black population all lived in that area, okay? So St. Paul is like right down the street. There was a whole bunch of Black clubs that were selling alcohol during the Prohibition. It was real popping over there, okay? It was a beautiful, beautiful community. But then what we saw happen was the construction of freeways. What we saw was then the introduction of KKK Hill. Now some of you might be like, what is she talking about? If you were to be out on this street, right, you would look up to see Alameda Padre Serra, okay? During that same period of time, the KKK actually had put up KKK in the hills. So again, think about the fact that 2/3 of the Black community had to live in this neighborhood, not because of choice, but because of restrictive covenant. So they were not allowed to live elsewhere. And then every day, they certainly could go and see Black businesses on their block. They could go to Black churches, but as soon as they stepped outside their door and looked up, what did they see? The KKK up in the hills, yes? Now these are things, again, if you're visiting Santa Barbara, you don't know. And the reason why we tell people this is because so often people come to Santa Barbara and they say, there's no Black people there. Black people just don't live there. And people don't ask questions as to how did that happen. It's important that we ask that because the same displacement that has happened to Black folks, we see happening to our Latinx siblings, we know has happened especially to our Japanese siblings, and we know has happened to our indigenous siblings as well. So please follow Healing Justice Santa Barbara. We also helped write the Black and African American context statement for the city of Santa Barbara, where we outline over 20 sites that need to be protected by the city that show Black folks have been here going back to the 1800s, and also remind people that this work, this historic archiving work, is political, but that is also very, very urgent. So I hope you all have a beautiful bike ride. Again, gratitude to you, Michael. Thank you so much. And I hope you all as well leave remembering that you also can collect local histories as well, because so many people would like to rewrite histories as if we were not here, as if we did not help build the Franklin Center, Black folks did that, as if we did not help found the Santa Barbara County Food Bank, Black folks did that, as if we did not help start Marburg, Black folks did that, as if it wasn't a Black doctor who pushed for integration that then helped found the Goleta branch of Cottage Hospital. So again, Black people did that, we have been here, don't forget about us. Thank you.
Also, God bless and Presidente Bombatude, who was a longtime activist from the 60s to his final days. And his final days, he, as a city council member, I believe he was the first Black city council member.
And the only Black city council member.
Who, once he got word about the proposed gang injunction, he stood up and stood strong and fought it strongly by himself. And then with his strength and his inspiration, other people stood up because he knew that the gang injunction, the proposed gang injunction, was an attack to our youth, to our brown and Black urban youth. So thank you for your work.
Constitutional right for freedom of association.
That's right. And then another fact here, when it comes to this land here, from a lagoon swamp, it turned into a town, it went to a town dump. And then from a town dump, it became an undesirable place to live. So that's why all the people of color were living over here by the town dump. And then through the community love, they were able to reclaim this land, thus becoming Ortega Park. With that said, let's see some art. Let's do this.